If you want the tools to instantly lock up your hair and have dreadlocks today, make sure to order the Greatlocs locking bundle on greatlocs.com right now. Click the link down below and order now. Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Greatlocs. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be taking a look at NLE Choppa's dreadlocks. You guys wanted an update video, so you're going to get one. But before we get into today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and also comment down below who you guys would like to see next. And also comment down below who you think has the best dreadlocks in the game. I know for me, NLE Choppa has some of the best dreadlocks, but I want to hear your guys' opinion. And to you that are new, make sure to subscribe because I drop dreadlock videos every single week. And it's good to watch these videos for inspiration. But with all that being said, let's get straight into it. Right off the bat, we see that his dreadlocks are looking really good right here. We've seen this since the beginning with NLE Choppa's dreadlocks. A lot of us remember how he started them out, with most likely doing, the twisting with gel mixed in with the Bantu knots. And although we don't see him doing the Bantu knots as much as he used to, I think he still does them. Mostly we see him doing the 2-strand twist, and that's what he does to accomplish this look. Now, of course, we've seen him doing the braids as well, but I feel that the 2-strand twister is his most popular look. And I believe his overall goal is just to have those curly dreadlocks. Now let's talk about curly dreadlocks for a little bit. If you've ever tried to accomplish curly dreadlocks using a curling iron, I'm sure many of you have been disappointed if you tried that route, because a curling iron just will not make your dreadlocks curly. Because when it comes to dreadlocks, they're very structured, and what I mean by that is they always take time to do what they want to do. Or in this case, do what you want them to do. So if you want your dreadlocks to be curly, it takes time. So it's not something to where you just curl the hair and then it's curled. It's something that you have to place into a position that will make it curl over time. Now, of course, this isn't permanent because when you wet the hair and over time, it'll weigh itself out and then it'll straighten its way back to where it was. Now, this isn't the same as if your hair was kinked or bent, because bends in the dreadlock or kink in the dreadlocks will typically stay there unless you work them out. And that's a whole other story. But making them curly, there's obviously many ways you can do that. And one of the ways is how he does it with the 2-strand twist. And of course, another way is with the braiding, which he's done a few times, but we mostly see the 2-strand twists. Now, I will say this new color that he accomplished with the purple, it's different than any other purple we've seen. Of course, we've seen Lil Uzi Vert and we've seen Lil Pump with the purple dreadlocks, but not the same color as this. And guys, I always say this in every single NLE Choppa video, is that his hairline is super crisp. So whoever his barber is, he's doing his job very well. And I just feel like overall with the high top fade and the tapered hairline, his dreadlocks look well put together. And now with this purple color, it looks really good. Now I will say, and I think I've said it before, is that it almost looks like some of his dreadlocks do have interlock marks on them. And for everybody out there who doesn't know what interlocking is, it's essentially a method to where you take the tip of the dreadlock and thread it through the roots in order to lock it up. Now it is very fast and easy to do, and I will say it's very effective, but I will also say this, that with doing that method, it almost looks like the dreadlocks are braided. But it's one of those things that you don't notice unless you're a loctician or if you're a guy like me who reviews the dreadlocks. But then again, it could just be the way his dreadlocks are looking, because I know during those beginning stages he most likely just did the Bantu knots. Because I do know during those beginning stages that he most likely just did the Bantu knots and twisting with gel. And obviously now we just see him transitioning into doing 2-strand twists when he does the twisting with gel method. Now, one thing you notice right here is that you don't really see his sections. And that just goes to show what happens when you don't maintain your dreadlocks for some time, which I think is completely fine. It really just depends on what you're going for. And in my opinion, I think the most unique dreadlocks are the ones that are not as uniform. And that's the difference between very traditional and uniform dreadlocks and kind of more unique dreadlocks. And I think the way to get unique dreadlocks is to allow them to do what they want while allowing yourself to maintain it along the way. Because let's face it, a lot of people don't want fully freeform dreadlocks, they just want very unique dreadlocks. Although freeform dreadlocks are very unique and everyone's are different, not everybody wants to go through that process and that time in order to get them. And also they might not like that actual look overall, but you want them to look different. Now, how do you accomplish that? Obviously there's ways like bleaching and dyeing, but anybody can really do that. And the other obvious ways is doing hairstyles, but anybody can do hairstyles as well. The best way to make your dreadlocks look unique is to allow them to lock up on their own for a little bit of time. So for instance, instead of maintaining your dreadlocks once a week, start maintaining them once every 2 weeks. Or say you maintain them every 2 weeks, then I would say maintain them once a month. And if you maintain them once a month, I would say push it back to 2 months. But it's really up to you to allow your dreadlocks to do its own thing for a little bit and then come in and maintain it, versus maintaining it more frequent. Just be consistent. But after the purple, we see NLE Choppa go back to the black. And one thing that's very interesting that a lot of people might not know is once you bleach and dye your hair, it's gonna constantly want to keep going back to that bleached color. And over the years, if you don't do anything to your hair and you just wash it, it will eventually get back to that bleached color. So that's the downside of bleaching and dyeing your hair, is if you don't want it to be bleached and dyed anymore, you have to continue to dye it the original hair color, which can be a pain for some. I know for me, I wouldn't want to do that. That's why I steer clear of actually bleaching and dyeing the hair and allow my hair to be unique in other ways. Because like I said, of course, bleaching and dyeing the hair can be a little bit unique, but anybody can do that. But allowing your hair to lock up and then maintain it along the way, I think is the best way to achieve that very unique look. But besides him dyeing his hair back to black, the 2-strand twists look very clean and you see the sections looking very nice up there. And like I had already mentioned, you can tell that his hair right here is bleached and dyed. Although it is dyed back to black, it still has tints of color in it. And the thing you need to know about dyeing your hair back to black is it typically fades into a different color. One thing that I'm pretty sure about NLE Choppa is that he trims his dreadlocks. And if he does, it's very little by little, or it could honestly just be breakage. And at the same time, he does have a very tight curl pattern with it being a 4B. So he could honestly not be trimming it. But at the same time, his length has been pretty consistent for quite some time. But other than that, guys, what do you guys think about his dreadlocks? And also, what are your thoughts on bleaching and dyeing your dreadlocks after what you've heard today? And I would definitely recommend for you guys to all take my recommendation in consideration when it comes to making your dreadlocks unique. Don't really focus on the color or the hairstyle. Focus on what your hair is actually doing on its own, and then work alongside that. And you'll be surprised at how much you'll enjoy your dreadlocks and also the locking process. But other than that, guys, make sure to comment down below who you'd like to see next, and also subscribe if you guys are new. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are needing a crochet hook, make sure to go to Greatlocs.com and pick yourself up a crochet hook. Link to that is down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.